What's up, tubers? About to get into this Supra, my next build here, and I'm looking at it, and man, I almost want to go back and get another one. This thing looks like it's going to be a nice kit. You know, looking closer, it doesn't have any obvious flash. It looks like it's got some really good detail to it. It's got some cool features, like it's got two turbos. There's one of them is chromed, and the other one over here on the white tree. I've got some cool 3D goodies that I'm gonna use both of those turbos and some other goodies and stuff that I printed up, and gonna build this thing up. And like I said, I kind of want to go back and get another one. I mean, it was just such bizarro world. That Revell that I just finished was such garbage, and this one, the MPC that I always complain about, I don't want to jinx it, but so far it looks like it's going to be great. It's got some fantastic details, and yeah, with the 3D stuff. Oh my gosh, yes. Can you see it? Can you see the race team? All the braps. Brap. Yep, for sure. So, I'm about to get into this thing, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so we're about ready for primer. As I was putting this thing together, I was noticing that, while it's limited parts count, the detail is actually pretty good. I mean, look at the exhaust, for example. Look at the cat, has like a texture to it that'll paint up nice. The suspension is, again, low parts count. I mean, really limited. There's shocks and the entire rear portion, but there's good detail there. I mean, those CV boots will paint up nice, and that obviously it was chromed. I'm gonna repaint that. Same with the front. There's some good details there, enough to be able to pull those out with contrast and tiny brushes. Those will all paint up just nice. The chrome stuff, but personally, I like to assemble as much as possible before painting. It's just easier on me to paint it all with a small brush, the details, and I enjoy it. It's kind of what I like to do. I like to do the small brush details. It takes me back to when I was a house painter, doing the brushwork. I was a gunslinger. So, those little tiny little details like that don't intimidate me at all. But if they do and you like to pre-paint, I would strongly suggest you strip the chrome and paint. It doesn't stick very well. There's a couple little fiddly bits like that right there is this tiny little part that didn't want to assemble. And then also, the glue just destroys the chrome. So personally, I kind of prefer to usually strip it and repaint it. I didn't on this. I was kind of a little antsy, and I jumped the gun. In hindsight, I should have stripped it. But I'm just about ready to lay some primer down. I got this kind of separated a little bit. I've got a little bit of touch up to do on that. Finish it off. Again, with the details. The dashboard, I didn't notice when I was doing the unboxing. I don't know if the camera will pull that out or not, but the glove box and the dashboard appear to have a different texture. It's almost like a wood grain, or you could make it to look like. And the interior tub, it's got some nice texture on the seats, and there's seat belts and then luggage belts. It's a good kit. I'm, again, considering going back and getting another one just because. The body, I was moving a little fast. I was kind of having fun. I got a little sloppier than I should have, and some of it didn't line up exactly straight. That's entirely my doing. And the front joint, I can tell already that's not going to join up well. I don't know if I'm going to bother to put putty on it or not. I'm gonna use this. This isn't really a very good filler primer. It's fine, so it just acts as a base. It's a good base, good primer, but I don't think it's gonna fill that. And I don't want to lose my details by using a thicker primer. And I'm dangerously low on my go-to. May have to actually fire up the airbrush to do some service prep. And then, my 3D printed stuff that I'm going to add. I've got a shifter and a steering wheel and a red top or an Optima battery, and then the e-brake handle that's a samurai sword. And then the wheels, you saw there I was making offsets, making for stance, so they'll sit stance live. And then of course I marked which ones were rear. Media management was key. So that's about it for that. I'm about to get into the primer, and we'll see how that goes. Again, I'm running low on materials. I might have to go. I don't know. I guess I could fire up the airbrush. I just kind of wanted to blow through this one and see how it looks, see how it comes out. So far I've been pretty impressed, for an MPC kit. And doing what I've done now, I've done, a lot of in and out test fitting and stuff, a lot of ins and outs, really complicated. I've got some faith in this. This is actually going to be a good model. So we'll see how it goes, see how the primer goes, see how it actually goes together once it's painted. So moving on. All right, we are going to get into the primer. Not going to be able to hear me in a minute once I kick these fans on. So I'm going to Lay down a coat of that. Get into the rest of this black. Go as far as I can, and finish off the rest in this red, just to have a base coat. So, here we go. So I usually like to have everything lined up next to me, and I'll start on something insignificant just to test the spray. You don't really need a whole lot. We're going to get other colors on. that white. Got primer on everything. A couple things. I'm going to talk about paint for a second. Primer, actually. This is kind of my go-to for basic stuff. Basic, stuff I'm not too worried about. Just getting a base coat on. And then I like to use this for bodies. It's a nice primer. It's really fine. It lays down really well. It does not fill. So I'm probably going to have to go back and hit those with some putty. Not really happy with this putty. If you guys know of a better one, maybe it sets up a little faster, easy to sand, whatever, let me know in the comments what putty you like to use. Not real impressed with that stuff. But another tip, if you do use this Rust-Oleum stuff, email or call the company and they will send you out tips. They will send you tips, no charge. I have a baggie of them, and they start to clog and sputter. I just throw it away. And, this stuff, people will hate on this kind of paint, but it works great for stuff like this, for undercarriages, stuff it just needs a little bit of primer on there. I really do like to use it for these 3D parts for the wheels. It actually it's got a perfect tone to it. Those are done. Leave them as is. And there's a lot of parts that I will paint with this stuff and just leave them. It's, like radiator hoses or belts, radiators themselves. Most JDM radiators are plastic, black plastic, as well as these body, whatever, undercarriage things. Sometimes I'll shoot them with some gloss clear, changes the tone of them, makes them look good. I mean, sometimes like an interior, I'll just shoot that with a gloss, and then you've got a gloss black. It works great. But speaking of the details of the interior, some of the details in this kit, I'm still been really impressed. It's got a nice texture on the seats. The seat belts themselves are all very, very well pronounced. This will all paint up really nice. And I didn't notice this when I was doing it earlier. This wood, it almost looks like a wood grain. So I'm not sure what what color I'm going to go with. But you can see there, it's got some seat cushion texturing, and then the seat back is a different type. Those will paint up really well. And this red, same as the black, the primer, it's a red oxide, but it also works really well for stuff that you're not too concerned about, like not bodies. It's a little too thick for that. I like to put it on engine blocks to give it it gives you some shading, a little bit of pre-shading when you do go to paint this and color it in. The fine works really well on the 3D stuff. I've noticed it doesn't stick all that great. The regular stuff doesn't stick all that great on the 3D resin. So things that I want a really nice detail to, like these wheels, I want them to shine. I'll use this Tamiya fine. These, I'll just paint that chrome. Good details, but I mean, you can see like the color tone. It has a little bit of a variant from the 3D resin and just the styrene. This is a little bit flatter, but which is cool because it gives you just a little bit of contrast when you're actually painting later or finishing. So that's about it for that little segment talking about primers. I'm about ready to start put some color on this stuff. I have not made a decision yet, but I can start choosing all the other stuff that'll, put grays and silvers and all that kind of stuff, chromes and whatever. So the chromes, but looking good, looking really good. I mean, my body work isn't great. I got a little happy with the glue when I was putting it together. It's a little bit chunky, but it'll be fine. I have not decided. I might just go blue. I might go box stock-ish on this with a nice shiny blue. We'll see. So I'm going to try some of that putty, let it dry, let it set up, sand it, see if I can't get that a little bit flatter, and then we'll go right into color.